Not doing this. I'm a mental health therapist for under 18-year-olds, and
What?
the biggest thing I struggle with, no, I struggle, but my biggest caseload are females who struggle with self-esteem,
Mm,
and and a lot of the self-esteem that they struggle with is from the home. So at the home, they didn't really get the self-esteem and the love from home. So when they get into second high school, and they get to look at other people and realize, oh, we don't look as pretty as her, or this guy's talking to other girls and not talking to us. That's where they struggle. And now to hear you, in your 40s, still talking about loving yourself and about self-esteem and things like that, it's quite amazing, because it shows that it's still a journey, because it's not just about high school kids or college kids, that it's something that can take us a lifetime to really go through and stuff. And so it's, as I said, it's really encouraging to be able to hear somebody who's had the success that you have, to be able to admit that, yeah, it can still be a struggle.
yeah, and you know what? I thank God. I thank God for being able to be in a place where it's just like you got to be real. Because if you're not real, then you'll never be helped. And it's just like I've masked it. You mask things for so long. You can make yourself appear to be something that you're not to so many different people. And my mom said, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool God none of the time. And it's just like when you get older, you start to really understand that's so true. And it's just like, it's just in a point in my life where I just want to be real. I don't want the fake. I don't want the phony no more. I don't want the facade. I don't want to put on the stuff that, the appearances. It's just like, man, look, I just want help. God, please just help me because I need your help. And it's just like when you can come and be transparent like that. And before, like I was so used to being fake. I was so used to being made up. I was so used to looking to be somebody else. And like you said, these young girls, we have all of these different pictures of what beauty looks like and all of these things. So it's just like one of my pastor, my apostle, she preached about it as well. She talked about loving yourself. But I want to speak about what my pastor said. My pastor, she broke it down one day. I thank God for these women of God in my life. They are so powerful. You know what I mean? Sometimes men think that, you're not supposed to have women preachers, but that's not biblical. You know what I mean? But I'm not even gonna go there. But for the most part, it's just like I thank God for these women, these strong women of God who really love the Lord and who is about their Father's business. And I remember my pastor, she talked about relearning things. And it's just like, sometimes you don't know how much you have to relearn until you start learning. And then you be like, dog, the way I think, it's like, really? I remember one time my apostle told me, she is just like, it's your thinking. The way that you think is off. You know what I mean? And when you start to see how you think is wrong, and it's just like the learning aspect. So it's just like what I love is so dope, right? I'm gonna say this in the Bible. A lot of people be like, that's why it's so important for us to read the Bible, because it's like everyday life. In the Bible, in the book of Genesis, in the beginning, I believe it's in chapter 1, around verse 26, 28. And God said, He said, let us make, meaning the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God said, let us make man in our image and in our likeness. And I read that so many times, right? But recently, when I read it, it was almost like a ton of bricks hit me. And I said, God, wait a minute. You said, let us make man in our image and in our likeness. So, God, that means that the way that I look, the way that I am, you created me on purpose. So with that, that means that I'm supposed to love who I am, not what I see somebody else to be, but I've always like counted myself against, like you said, these young girls as a young kid. All you see on TV is the this and the that, the small frame one, the light skin one, the one that has the what we used to call, what I call too, good hair. Not the straight hair, the this, the that. Those were the things that we seen. It was on every other magazine. It wasn't the ones that with the kinky hair that we see now. The ones wasn't lifted up. So as a kid, or things, or just as an insecure woman, having those things that you see all the time in your face, and you saying, I don't look like that.
Yeah.
So you don't think to love yourself, you love what you see and try to become that. And so now I'm so grateful to God is that when I look in the mirror, I don't look like that, but I look like what God created. And so love her is what I'm learning how to do. You know what I mean? I'm learning how to love her because he was intentional when he made me. And I'll never forget when the prophetess of God, she said to me, she said, when you don't love yourself, she said, it's like you, and I can't remember how she said it. She's like, but it's like you disdain and like spitting in the face of God. Like you don't appreciate what God has created. And I didn't catch it then. You know, you say, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I didn't catch it because I was so stuck on trying to be this beautiful. All I wanted to be was just this beautiful thing, this beautiful woman. God, why do I have to have the blemishes, God? Why do I got to go through the skin that seemed like it goes up and down? Why this, God? Why that? Opposed to never looking at the picture and loving who he created. And so I'm learning. And I say to any young person, you are so beautiful. I don't care what is going on. Okay, if it's some things, and I heard my pastor say this. There's some things, and my apostle said it before, and the ministers in my church said it before, is that if there's anything in your life that you want to change, that you can change, then change it. If it's your weight, then you know what you got to do. Push back from the table a little bit. Do what it is that you got to do. Yeah. But the things that you can't change, love yourself. Love it. Love who you are. And she told us to read Psalm 139. So if you get an opportunity, read Psalm 139. I pray that I know that it will change your life because you will start to see that God created you from the beginning of time. He made you fearfully and wonderfully, is what he says. So
Psalm 130, was it 134 you told me to?
Psalm 139.
Oh, one.
Yes, yes.
139. You know
yes.
what? It's yeah. What you said about you can gain the world but lose your soul. I think so many people kind of forget that. Yeah. Even if I live to 150 years old, eternity far outweighs that. And it's quite easy to God says, Jesus gave us one commandment. He says, love God and love your neighbor as yourself, yourself. So that was all he said. Forget the 10 commandments, forget everything. Just love God. And the whole thing is, as you love God, he gives you it's almost like he gives you the ability to then start to love others. So you can't just love others without God, but you love him, and then he empowers you to be able to love others. But most importantly, he says, as yourself. So the one thing that you started to talk about is that if you can't love yourself, how then do you start to love others? Because if you don't love yourself, how do you see others? You're seeing them you're jealous of them, you're negative of them, you're criticizing them because it's about what you're seeing about yourself. And you know what? So many people become religious, but being, I've walked with God in a way where if the Holy Spirit tells me this is what you need to do, I don't even stop. I have to say, yes, you're right, because I can't live in disobedience. I cannot, and so it's inspiring to hear you speak openly, especially as a celebrity, but most people aren't able to do that. And I just continue to pray because I know that it's harder for you. You've got more of a bigger platform, and I know how the enemy comes and looks to strike the shepherd, those who are in the spotlight. It's like, I'm going to try and tear them down, because if I can discredit you, I can discredit a lot. So, definitely we'll keep praying for you, and for the journey that you're ahead, because it's not easy to be able to be a mouthpiece for the Lord in the public eye, because I know a lot of people will be coming after to pull you back down.
Yes, thank you so much for your prayers. I thank you so much. God is so good, and I thank him. And like you said, it's just like all the commandments is definitely in that one. When he said love God and love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy mind, all thy soul, that strength. And then he said to love thy neighbor as thyself. And you're absolutely right. And I thank you for the prayers, because God knows that I need them. I just want to just live right. That's it. Finally in that place where it's just like, I just want to live right, God. That's it. That's what matters. And it's just like, and that's what I'm fighting to do. and I gotta press every day, and I gotta, like you said, can't live in a place of disobedience no more. Can't live in a place of religion no more.
Yeah.
You know, I've done that. You know, that was definitely my plight. You know, so, and I thank God for, like I said, the opportunity to be able to say, you know what, God, thank you for slapping me down. Thank you. Enough is enough. And so, thank you for this interview. It was beautiful. It was great, and I look forward to being back when the music comes out. Thank you again.
Yes, but I have to thank Rochelle for setting it up, and
Okay.
yes, please give us another chance when the music is
Yeah,
out,
of course.
and hopefully give me more time as well as well.
Yes, absolutely. So it definitely was meant to be this time. The way that everything went was supposed to be, and I thank you again for everything. And please have an amazing, amazing night. And thank you so much.
Yes, thanks, Pamela.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come. But thanks a lot for watching.